All right, so the markets closed Monday, June 7th, and we're going to do things like we used to do it in this channel where we talk about the market and kind of what's going on today. So let's go ahead and get to it. Well, the market was kind of weak today, but I like the action. I like the action in NASDAQ because we know the NASDAQ is really the true leader, man. When the NASDAQ is rocking, for the most part, the overall market will eventually find its way higher, so the Dow down 126, NASDAQ up, and the S&P down. By the way, the Russell's not here. The Russell was up as well. But when you look at the heat map, it's been so long. Yes, the heat map. Look at Microsoft. I can't move the cursor. That makes it ugly, right? But, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Adobe, Oracle, NVIDIA, Micron, IBM, Salesforce, Tesla. I mean, these are the big boys that was having a great day, but there's some concern with these guys. The big boy, right? And then the big boy. There's the big boy and the big boy. Amazon and Apple. Now, I don't like seeing days like this because, I'm an Amazon fan, not necessarily an Apple fan, but when stocks are ripping like that and Amazon's not ripping and Apple's not ripping, if you're an investor in any of these stocks, what it tells you is investors don't have an appetite for them right now. They just don't. So the market's kind of ripping. They buying everything else but those. So let's kind of look at the Apple and Amazon just a little bit more closely to see what's going on with those two stocks. All right, so here is the weekly of Amazon. We'll start this one first. I mentioned this in the live video that was today. If you wanted to catch the live, subscribe and hit the bell so you could see when I actually come out with those lives, because I never know when I'm going to drop a live. I just feel like I'm going to drop a live and I do it. Well, anyway, here is the Amazon chart. Trade in the channel. It's actually been perfect. It's still bullish, but on a day like this, it's not bullish because everything else was bullish. So you can see it's just in the channel doing its thing, and every time we had a kind of a breakout, it just failed. So we're waiting for it to do it again. We definitely don't want to see it fail to the downside, because when it gets compressed like this, yes, it could break down to the downside. Generally, what this is going to tell us, this is sideways action, and when it does break out, it's going to be pretty powerful. But if it breaks down, it's going to be powerful as well. So I do want to see this thing start to head to the upside. Now, some of the news that came out today, which I think has kind of been holding down Amazon, is that, Bezos is going to be the first one in space with his brother, along with whoever wants to pay a couple of million to go with him. And it's kind of dangerous, So I'm thinking, maybe that's why it's down. They're like, what? It's just dangerous. So that's why I think it was down today. So let's look at Apple. Let's see what's going on right there. Pull up Apple real quick. Apple, here we go with Apple. Still in the uptrend when you look at it. That's cool. So clear all of this stuff out and let's start drawing some trend lines on this thing and see what we can see. Right, we got that going on there, and we got what's going on? That going on right there. Shrink that down, and that going on right there. So you can see the channel kind of drawing, and what you also see is, why didn't we go to the top of the channel here? Kind of like we seen Amazon doing. Amazon was going up, down, up, down. This one, why did we put a lower high in? And why are we just getting all of these tags on the lower end of the trend line? Right? It just makes you think it's more bearish than bullish. And this thing could break and go lower. Why is it that in this channel, there's also a head and shoulders to be drawn? Knowing that's a bearish sign, generally we could break down to the downside. Now, I think I did a video earlier in one of the archives that I think Amazon is going to, Apple is going to break and eventually hit this $100 area. Don't know what the trigger is going to be, but you seen, like, we talked through it together, and it's bearish. It just is what it is. And this looks like the new level. You know what? Let me draw a box instead, because I think it'd be more of a range right in here, right, and right in there. I just think that's where we're heading down. See, we got some support right here. It's also about the same distance from that neck the top of the head to the neckline, which is $11. Let me see if I bring that down. Let me see. Well, actually, if I bring that down, be about 123, 113, 112. Well, actually, it'd be from here, 124. Yeah, so therefore, somewhere around here. at least doing the head and shoulders test. But I'm thinking it's going to go right through. Forget about that part. I think it's going to go right to support, which is right in this area right here. I like the 100 round number, maybe 105. Sometimes it likes to turn before it reaches that round number because people know it's going to reach the round number, so they jump in early before it does reach the round number, and then the stock turns around. But Apple is definitely looking like a weak stock. Something that I also think was weak that had a great day today is Tesla. Talked about it in the live video today. Like, this just looks bearish. I mean, it just looks like it's ready to break. But if I go to let's go to the 5-minute. Look at this. I like the action it had off of that, support, right? And actually finished higher. When I was doing the live, I believe it was lower and it's finished higher. So if you go back to here's the daily, you could see it's getting ready. It's bouncing off of that. And if you look close, we actually made a higher low. That's good, right? Before these was damn near exact to the T, right? So it looks like here the investors wanted to come in a little bit early and get that bounce. So it actually had a nice little reversal kind of day today and up $6, $6.05. So Tesla, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. It's just sideways action. Well, kind of not really. You got like it's a wedge. And basically when it breaks through to the upside or downside, this will also be powerful because basically it's a consolidation type pattern, right? So if it does break this upper trend line, we could see an explosion to the upside. So with today's, I'm bearish on Tesla. I actually think it's coming down here. This is why I got the thick yellow line down here, seeing if it's going to break. But today's action was kind of positive. It almost makes me go, does it want to break this support right here for whatever reason? So maybe it finds its way higher, So you see how like Apple was riding on the support, like almost the same kind of pattern, but Apple's this wedge was going up, and then it was hitting it down, and then just hanging down here, right? Just looking to go lower. Apple finished up a penny or a dollar, whatever. I think it was a penny. But Tesla, was down and it's actually finished up $6. So I like the way Tesla looks as of now. I mean, overall, if I go to the monthly, it's still bearish there, okay? So let's see if it can change. Let's see if it can change, and maybe this whole thing will be a little like a little bull flag. Like this is the flag right there, and then this is the post, right? And then if it can break out of this downward trend, there might be something to talk about. So basically, Tesla either up here, it's getting ready to show and prove. We're either breaking out to the upside, or we're going to break this line right here and bring it down. And if we do bring it down, I think we're coming way down here. That's just a guess. That's just a guess. It could actually stop here as well. Right, so something is getting ready. Basically, big moves. Big moves is coming to Tesla. Big moves coming to Tesla near you. All right, so the NASDAQ, right? The NASDAQ was up a point, up 0.3 today, still heading up. Everything actually looks good, but it's been a little rally in the NASDAQ, right? If you look at the VIX, let's pull up the VIX real quick, and let me see if I can zoom in here with the weekly. Yeah, let's go to the weekly. And remember, I had this area highlighted, and it was just amazing how we stayed above 20 for a long time, basically a year. And finally, we're coming down. This was a level of support. Went up, broke through it. Now it's sideways. And I'm actually thinking we're going to have another step down to kind of come down to the lows, which if that would happen, if we were to kind of go down to the bottom of this range, that means the market most likely is going to be higher. Right now, I want to look at one more thing, and I'm going to look at the 10-year because, the NASDAQ especially has been trading off the 10-year, rates going up, stocks, goes down. But recently there's been kind of a disconnect. Kinda, not really, but because here's the yield. This is the 10-year Treasury index. This is the yield. And here was that run where the NASDAQ was just tanking, right? Kathy Wood stocks was getting destroyed, everything right there, that little run. But since then, we've been going sideways to even lower, right? And so the market's been having fun. It found the time to rally. It's found the time to go up. But what bothers me, if this reconnects, right? Meaning this starts to go up, and I don't really see why it won't start to go up, because this pattern is bullish, right? So up, it's holding that level sideways, putting in for the most part, a bull flag consolidation. And then you get the breakout. And if this were to break out, the NASDAQ and probably the rest of the market will break down. So I have to keep an eye on this 10-year, but it's been being behaved. And with that last employment report on Friday, where the numbers just wasn't as expected, it allows the Fed to, the market's like, hey, we can buy. Basically, the Fed can start thinking about again, right? He can add the thinking about, right? So, but if it starts going up, maybe he's got to remove one. So it's we got to keep an eye on that, right? So we got a low VIX, good. 10-year consolidation, good. We don't want it to break out, because then it'll be bad for the market if you're long. And then we worry about Apple, and then we worry about Amazon. Okay, so that's the video. That the appetite for Apple, Amazon, I think people might be full. There is no appetite. Today kind of proved that point. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just a one-off. Maybe it was a repositioning. I don't know. Maybe Bezos going to space. I don't know. But that's what it proved. Anytime you have a day like this, you can always find what's working and what's not. Because when everything is working and your stock ain't, that stock ain't working. Right? Because people was in a buying mode and they decided not to buy your stock. But when things is working and your stock is ripping, it's like, yeah, I'm in the right stocks. Yeah. Market has the appetite for that. So even like the ARK funds, they was up today. Apple, nuh-uh. Amazon, uh-uh. So anyway, there's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Catch the live I did earlier. I love doing lives and getting on there and just kind of showing you what I'm doing. And you can talk and tell me what you're doing, and we just kind of chit chat. I linked that up here, I guess. And or just go in the archive and check it out. I'm on Twitter, Dre Trades, Instagram, Dre Trades, right here, Dre Trades 2. Thanks for watching, everyone. Dre, and I'm out.